camp, but I don't know, one guy, two guys, all those ladies getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Must be good for you to do that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the music. I'm in the studio with Alice, who runs Pyramid Health and Fitness Club and runs these boot camps. But we were talking about how you kind of got to where you are, and we were just having a chat while the music was playing about rowing. And you I don't know whether rowing did it for you, but you're saying you weren't really a fully competitive, full-on rower, but you enjoyed it.
I did. I mean, I think really it got me back into doing sport. I say I wasn't ever particularly very good at it, but I used to enjoy it. And I think, doing something like that, it gives you that focus, gives you a little bit of purpose. And I think sometimes when people are going to the gym, they may not have any goals, and I think it's important to set yourself goals, because if you're just going to the gym, you're going week in, week out, you're not really working towards anything. I think it's good to have a bit of a focus, and I think, doing sports or doing, that sort of thing actually gives you that something to focus on and something to work towards, really gives you that goal.
It's always, I think, as well, you can't underrate it. I mean, it gives you a social life, doesn't it? Because people...
Yeah, it does.
Same kind of people, and you have a bit of fun.
Exactly.
And, it's a nice atmosphere to sort of get involved with people and not force. I think it's great. Look, I'm just going to, it's not rowing this, but I'm going to read this out because we've got a prize coming up. On Monday the 25th, there are 2 tickets to be won. It's a trip to Maidenhead and Windsor races, as I say, for 2 people, with champagne, afternoon tea, entry to the races, and a dinner cruise return. Now, this is being run by Thames Executive Charters, and there are 2 questions you've got to answer. So if you've got a pen, just take down the email, first of all, because you need to email your answers to studio@marlowfm.co.uk. And you've got to answer 2 things. I think you've got to, I don't think you can guess the name of the steamer that you're going to go into, but you need to have a look around, dig around, and find out how many steamers this company's got. So it's Thames Executive Charters who've kindly given this prize. It's written down in it says name of these steamers. Now I suspect that what that means is you've got to give the name of all the steamers they've got. It may well be that you've got to select one of those and choose the steamer that you're going to actually be travelling on. So when you found out what they all are, just to be on the safe side, put a circle around the one you think you're going to be on. The other thing you've got to do is you've got to tell us the distance from Marlow Lock to Bolter's Lock. So if you get that right and you email studio@marlowfm.co.uk, you could be the beneficiary of 2 tickets on Monday the 25th to go to Windsor races from Maidenhead, champagne afternoon tea, entry to the races, and a dinner cruise return. Well, it can't be bad. So just to prove we're not cheap jacks on Marlow FM, there's something that's half decent for you to do. Alice, do you do steamers as well as rowing?
I'm afraid not, no. That's out of my remit, I'm afraid. But it sounds like a good price, so
it is good, isn't it?
I hope any of my guys are listening, they're going to enter that.
It is good. Maybe we can persuade you to give us some of that boot camp ticket.
I think you could persuade me, definitely. Yeah.
We need to promote the station. We are looking for people who sponsor programs, people who advertise. It's really great to interview people who run a business locally. It gives them a chance to talk about what they do. We get to celebrate what's going on in the Marlow area, and it gives a bit of frisson to Marlow FM. Always great to have people in. Some people like being interviewed so much they actually become interviewers. I don't think we're going to capture Alice on that. I'm looking at her. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Anyway, just going back to the rowing thing, you're at this point, you're doing are you in the fitness industry?
No, still wasn't in the fitness industry. I had jobs in sales that didn't really enjoy very much, and started down at the rowing club. I think it was a couple of years, and then it was when I hit my late 20s, I thought, okay, decided I wanted to do that, so I thought, okay, I better start looking into qualifications. So I actually then did what's known as the exercise to music qualification, and that's basically, it's your basic aerobic teaching qualification, which allows you to teach group sessions to music. Sure. So the old grapevine.
Tell me if I've got this wrong, but it's not just, is it, learning the moves that people have got to go through? There's this whole big area of making it work for the people, isn't it? Being able to communicate.
You've got to communicate. I mean, just because you can actually do the moves doesn't mean you're going to be a good teacher, because it's one thing taking part in a class, and it's a whole different kettle of fish if you're actually teaching a class, because what you've got to do is learn your cueing. So you're telling them, you've got to obviously be aware of how they're doing, how they're feeling, getting feedback verbally. You need to get feedback visually as well. So you need to be able to see if somebody's, maybe struggling a little bit, or they may be pushing themselves too hard, or if they're not feeling too well, to know how to cater for that. I mean, I've been put on the spot recently where I've had a really busy class when I wasn't expecting it, and I had to improvise. So you have to learn to do that, but still run the session safely and effectively. The other thing is as well that it does take a while to learn. You've got to learn that you're going one way and they're going the other. So if you're going to your left, you have to say to the right, because that's the way they're going.
Oh dear.
So it's called mirror imaging.
That sounds very joined up.
Yeah. So you have to learn all of this. So it isn't literally about doing the moves. It's about everything else that goes with it. You've got to plan safe and effective sessions. You've got to know how to do a proper warm-up. You've got to know how to then do the middle sessions. So
warm up and warm down.
Warm down as well, you have to do that. And obviously, safely stretch people off as well. So there is a lot that goes into planning it. Also keeping the classes varied. You need to know when to change the sessions, how to, progress people. But also, because we have new people starting as well, you have to be able to, integrate them into the session, but at the same time pushing the people that might have been with you for 5 years, so that they're not getting bored, or they're not getting too much of an easy workout, basically. So there is a lot that goes behind it, and a lot to think about.
I'm a great believer in what I call the skills agenda, and I really do think that what makes people really good at what they do, it's actually the skills they learn and the way they deploy them. I mean, it might seem a very self-evident thing to say, but in schools and in colleges, there's so much emphasis on educational qualifications or academic qualifications without a real regard for the things you've got to be really good at to go out and enjoy yourself and make a difference.
Definitely.
And I think we miss a trick somewhere along the line. It's very, very difficult for people at schools to make career choices because they don't know. I bet there's hardly anybody in a school that knows what goes on in your life, so they wouldn't know whether this is a great thing for them to do and whether it would be a good choice for them to make. I don't know where they get the kind of advice to do it, but it sounds like a great thing to do.
Oh, it is. I mean, I totally recommend it. I mean, when I worked in the gym, we used to have people come in and do work experience. It's something that I've thought about, but at the moment I don't know quite how that I would work it. But I have taught sessions in schools as well, and I always say to them, it is a fantastic career to get into. But I agree with you, it's hard. I mean, I know going back to school, like I said to you, I didn't have a good experience. It was, again, it was very much an academic side of things, and again they pushed the academic qualifications, and I did pretty well in my exams. I've got the ones I need, but the areas that I didn't do well in, it was sort of made to feel okay that's going to hold you back. But to be honest with you, it hasn't. And I've always been more of a creative person rather than an academic type. So, but at school, because they try and pigeonhole you in one box. I think more and more schools these days are looking at other things and realising that, some kids are creative, some are more academic. But I think, for those that don't necessarily have an idea, good careers advice and looking at things that you are good at and channeling people in the right direction, I think it is a good idea. But I mean, this fitness industry is a fantastic industry to get into. I think over the coming years it is going to get particularly big because, obviously there is an obesity crisis, whether we like it or not. There is one. We're following suit from America, and, it is going to become a problem. There's already a problem with some children, unfortunately, at a young age. More and more schools are sort of recruiting outside instructors now to teach sessions. And I think the government also setting targets as well for the schools. And I think, the fitness industry is a fantastic one to be in.
No, I think it's a great thing to do. And so many people enjoy it. So many people get engaged with it. It's, a healthy thing to do. And I just think it's great. And I'm just coming back to the other skills you have to have, because one of the driving force behind this station is a guy called Tim Ashburner, and one of the things that I call him the Director General. I hope he doesn't mind, but it's a kind of tribute to him in a way, because that's what the top man in the BBC used to be called. But I think that when you speak, you have a smile in your voice, and I think if you don't have that, you probably can't do what you do very well.
No, I think, you definitely have to. I was just going, actually, I quite like that name, Director General. I have to get my people to start calling me that, I think. I think definitely. I mean, I just, love what I do, so I'm passionate about what I do. And you know, going back to setting up a business, my advice, whatever field you're in, whatever it is, if you're looking to set up a business, you have to have a passion for what you're doing. Like say,
Sure.
whatever niche it is, whatever career you're looking at, if you want to set up a business, I think if that passion and drive isn't there, then I think, you know, maybe you should sort of look again and think again, because I think, you know, to run your own business, you have got to be very committed. You've got to have that real passion for what you're doing, and you've got to have that drive to make it work and keep it going.
Okay, well, that's a good point at which we're just gonna play some music, and I'm gonna come back and try and draw out from you when you realise you've got that passion to do this and run your own business. So when we come back from this bit of music, we'll talk about that. In the meantime, the nicest kids in town, James Marsden.